Hey, welcome back to the Disney Plus Everyday Challenge, and today we have Tron Ares. This premiered yesterday, January 7th, 2026. Yes, I know we've been doing episodes for a few days now, for almost a week, but still, I'm getting used to the 2026 thing. This came out in 2025, back in October. It's 2 hours and 1 minute long, and it continues the massive franchise of the classic Tron film from, what was it, 82? Tell me again. 82, yes, I was right. 82. I grew up with that film. I watched it incessantly. I think it was on at least once a week on HBO. It seemed, or maybe once a day. I watched it a lot. And yeah, it was a technological jump. It did some things that nobody had ever seen before in film. Entire sequences digitally rendered in a way that we take for granted today. We'll go see Avatar 3, and yes, it looks a billion times better, but a lot of this stuff started with Tron, with Lucasfilm, with ILM, and now Weta, and so many other digital companies throughout the world that contribute to all the films that we love. But this was, we were getting to see inside of a video game, inside of a digital world that hadn't ever really been properly realized before, and that was kind of cool. It was really cool. And now, in a time where we kind of take these kind of digital effects for granted, we maybe don't go see these movies in the theaters so readily anymore. Especially the third film, where maybe you might have to go back and watch a film from the 80s that in some ways may not hold up as well. I still think it holds up great for my expectations, and also a sequel that came out in 2010. It's a good many years old. It's a long time, and then we get we get this sequel 15 years later. Are we going to get another sequel in 15 more years? Because, spoiler, the main character Ares, played by Jared Leto, does survive at the end of the film. Just telling you that. In what state, what manner, I will not say, but he does survive. And even if he did die, or even if our hero did sacrifice himself, and it was a one-off, and he was done after one film, there is completely a way to bring him back regardless. It's just a world of movie making. So, yeah, God knows the next sequel of this film could be completely digitally created and made in AI. Please do not do that, Disney. Please do not. So yeah, I said Jared Leto, and for some people that is nope, not going to go see that anymore. I have friends who are like that. It's yeah, I get it, and yes, I do get it, but it doesn't keep me from seeing the films. Although I don't recall if I did. I don't remember watching the first Suicide Squad, where he played the Joker. There's this kind of situation, though, that we see Jared in a number of different classic franchises and modern franchises where he's the Joker, he's Morbius, he's working with every different studio, insinuating himself into sequels of our classic comics and movies and video game films, and some people are just not big fans of that. And I'm not saying I'm the biggest Jared Leto fan myself, but yes, he's there. And I don't hate him for this movie. Yeah, maybe the Joker was not great. Maybe his antics behind the scenes on that Suicide Squad movie, not great. But when it comes down to this final product, I really like it. I really like the look, the sound, where in the past our main characters were always in blue and white, highlights glowing when they're on the grid. This is all red. This is all very punchy red. So it's fruit punchy red. So we get basically the setup here is a digital being created to be a warrior, the ultimate warrior that can be, even if it was going to be destroyed, it could just be re-rendered and built again to fight. You don't have to put, again, this is using technology for war. for weapons to dominate our enemies. And this is not an unusual thing for corporations to do. The Dillinger Corporation is certainly on that fast track and bringing these digital beings from the grid into the real world. You saw that in the trailer, so that's not really any spoilers. I'm sensitive about spoilers. I try not to ruin the experience for too many people, especially something so new and something that a lot of people, from looking at the numbers, probably skipped in the theaters. So anyway, we get. By the way, the Dillinger Company is run by Evan Peters. He plays Julian Dillinger, but he's Evan Peters. You know him as Quicksilver from the X-Men movies. You know him from American Horror Story, especially the first season. He's all over the place, and he's always really good. He's great. He makes a pretty good villain, and he's just egotistical and way too rich, and he throws tantrums. He's also a bit of a mama's boy because his mom is played by Gillian Anderson from the X-Files and like a boatload of other things that have come out in the last few years with a British accent. I don't know why she has a British accent. Maybe she's part English, but she doesn't have an English accent by nature, right? Did Scully fool me all these years? I don't know why. I don't know why. I mean, it's a great affectation. She's great at it. As far as I know, maybe the British people are like, that's a crap accent. But hey, I'm also having problems with Gillian Anderson being the mother of a 30-something adult man. I grew up watching the X-Files. Well, I didn't grow up. I was already grown up by the time the X-Files started, but still, it was a huge part. 11 seasons, 2 movies, come on. Anyway, we also have Greta Lee. She is our... she inherited NCOM after they couldn't get the actor to play Sam to come back. I imagine. Unless because it's not Steve Leisberger, why can't I not know whether that S is spoken or not? I'm sorry, Steve. He's not directing this. He hasn't written it. He is credited as a writer for characters based on, because he created the film, directed it, created the characters, the whole Flynn thing. All of it is his, and this is the first time I think he's not directly involved in the making of this film. I could be wrong, but from what I got, he was not at the forefront of making this film, which to some others that's also a blasphemy. So. All these films connect together. No, the original Tron wasn't necessarily begging for a sequel, 30 years later, almost 30 years later, but it was made, and it was actually really good. I really liked Tron Legacy because it modernized everything, and it looked really good. The Daft Punk soundtrack, great. Trent Reznor composed the soundtrack to this one, and please understand that you've robbed yourself by not seeing this in theaters. I know some people, you have your own reasons, but I saw it in a Dolby theater, AMC's Dolby theater. Nobody's paying me to say that. I saw that in this film in this theater, my perfect normal seat, my perfect position seat in that theater, and I felt the film. I felt the film through every bone in my body. And watching this on a phone or a tablet or a small TV or a computer screen, it doesn't really do it. Doesn't give you the same film. It doesn't. It's. I can say the same thing about Tron Legacy, with the Daft Punk soundtrack. But with this, Trent really digs into just creating an atmosphere, whether you're on the grid or off the grid, all the way down to the final note during the credits. He's composed something that you can feel by hearing it, even though it's new music. You know it's from Tron. It's pretty fantastic. So if you have a great setup at home, whether you like Nine Inch Nails or not, or Trent or not, doesn't really matter. If you have a really great screen and sound system, put this on and just, even if you hate the story, if you hate the characters, or the actors or whatever. Just you can bathe yourself in this film. So yeah, it's 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 worth it for the music and just the ambient sound that as it gets quieter. I'm going to spoil this a little bit for you. The music gets quieter through the end of the rolled up credits, it gets a little bit calmer, a little bit soothing, a little bit quieter, and then it just ramps up in the last second or two. And when I saw it in the theaters, in an environment like that with such great sound, people started freaking out. Like in just a second, like, what is happening? And we all just sort of laughed at ourselves when we experienced that together. You may not have the same experience at home unless you tell other people to watch it with you, and they might think you're messing with the volume, but no, it will freak you out. So we got Greta Lee as Eve Kim. As I said, she's inherited the NCOM. Inherited is not the right word. They kind of took it over from the Flynns, from Sam Flynn, because he took off with what's her name in the last movie. By the way, there are references to them. I'm going to spoil that. There are references to them. And there are hints that this is going to be a sequel, that there will be a sequel that will coincide with the fallout of the end of Tron Legacy. If they can get the money to do this. Because, yeah, I think this movie would have to make a whole lot more money in order for Disney to go, yeah, you know what, we're going to make more Tron films. With or without Jared Leto. Even though Jared Leto would be really important to the next film, unless he doesn't come back. And then they'll have to start with a whole new story, which will reference him and also Sam. I don't know. They could do it as a series on Disney Plus. That would be neat. That would be probably a slightly smaller budget. I don't know. I don't know if it would pull in any new subscribers, but again, this is a difficult world we're dealing with when we're dealing with a Tron franchise. It's a franchise that appeals mainly only to old timers like me who grew up with it. I don't think this necessarily bringing in new fans through Jared Leto. Are there a ton of 30 Seconds to Mars fans that are just like, oh, we got to go see that new film? Trent Reznor could have brought a bunch of people into this, and I believe there were, because in the screening I saw, people were wearing Nine Inch Nails t-shirts when I was there, and they weren't Tron shirts, they were Nine Inch Nails t-shirts. So, I don't know. I think it looks beautiful. The action is fantastic. There's a number of chase scenes throughout this. At one point it's a ticking clock. It's literally a ticking clock, because these creations that exist that are from the grid, they can only exist in our real world for 29 minutes, and then they just crumble to dust and head back to the grid to be reconstituted, unless the boss doesn't want you to be, and he figures you're useless. So, yeah, we do get a nice bit of 80s nostalgia, like on screen. Other than Ares sharing what his favorite music is, and the few little physical props and entire rooms that call back to the original film. Yeah. Where there's also a very big scene that when I saw it in theaters and I saw it again today, I just couldn't look away. It was pretty dang great. So for us nostalgia freaks who love Tron, whether you think you're going to like this or not, there is at least parts of this film you'll really like. I do recommend you watch it, regardless of any reservations you have for whatever reason. It just, yeah. I know I'm apologizing with my hands every single time I speak here, but it's the way it is. So, Jodie Turner-Smith plays Athena. She has a pretty big role in this. Yeah, so she's, yeah. I said Gillian Anderson. And, yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah, and let's see. Hassan Minaj. Minhaj. Why can't I say his name? He used to be on the. Was he on the Daily Show? I'm gonna really dig into this. Good grief. I know I've seen him in a bunch of other stuff. There's there's a certain cameo in here, which I'm not going to ruin it, but you could probably figure out who it is. I think this is well performed. It looks great. It's got a. I'm kind of glad that it's not just the same characters with the same problems over and over again with a slightly newer visual effects team. Newer visual effects. Again, when you get a light cycle chase in the streets of San Francisco, how can you not watch that? Regardless of who's riding the bike, it's pretty dang great. And we get lots of time on the grid as well, and that's some fun. So, yeah. If you have reservations about watching this, which has seemed to be the way it was because not a whole lot of people went to see the film, here's your chance. If you already have Disney Plus, sit down, turn the volume up. Watch it on a good TV in 4K in a good sound system. You'll be happy you did. So, we already picked tomorrow's episode number 3. Number 3 on this list is. We did that yesterday. A Day Late and $1 Short. I looked at this and it stars Whoopi Goldberg. It's from 2014. That's about 12 years old. I don't know much about it. I'd never heard of it before. But A Day Late and $1 Short is what we're watching next on the Disney Plus Everyday Challenge. I'll see you back here tomorrow with that.